Stand here then so people can see it. All good, all good. Getting there, just making the adjustments. How's that? How's that for volume, guys? Good? Beautiful, beautiful. Third one will go for the 18. Glenlivet 18. Yeah? Beautiful. Okay. Fantastic. Right. Welcome everyone again. Time to finally get into the whiskey. So this very first one, it is Glenlivet 15. Okay, so I'm going to talk just the small amount for this first one, get us into tasting, and then I'll talk a bit more about the actual distillery and the brand later on, further down the line, once we've all had a few drams, because I've kept you waiting long enough. There you go. Beautiful. So Glenlivet 15. Has anyone had it before? Gives a cheer. Yeah. Okay. Good. Hopefully a couple of fans then. Yeah. So just in case anybody's not done neat spirit tasting before, I'll very quickly walk you through it. Again, same for people who are maybe watching online. But of course, if you're established drinkers, don't feel like you have to wait for me. Feel free to sip away. Okay. I'm sure there's a lot of people in there. I think there's some people there you go already swilling it in the mouth. So again, just as we're going into spirit tasting, you can go by looking at obviously the colour. We go through it first. You can hold it up. Really, swill it around. Look at the legs. They're a bit more dramatic over here, so we call it the tears up in Scotland. But again, I'm sure this is all the bread and butter for you guys. You know what you're talking about. So you can obviously go into the nosing of it. Quite interestingly, sometimes a lot of people, when they first get a whiskey, they will swill it around, try and get some aromas out of it. Yeah. More common with wine because it's a lower ABV spirit. Because this is quite a high ABV spirit with any whiskies, you're just going to be pulling out a lot of kind of the alcohol vapors, okay? So it's totally fine to just let it sit and you don't have to swill it around. I actually sank a bottle of this last night, so I'm not going to join you in the smelling of this one, but I'll let you have a go at the aroma if you would like, and then we can go on to the tasting, right? So I would say, just in case somebody does do it and you've been waiting far too long, try and avoid doing it just down in one go. No matter what you shot, it's probably going to taste a little bit harsh. So do it at the very least over 2 sips is what I always say, yeah? Because that second sip is really where you're going to start to get more of the aromas, more of the flavours, yeah? So feel free to sip along. So we've got Glenlivet 15 in this one. This one is French oak, okay? And the oak that it uses is it's called limousine cask, okay? It's the wood that they use quite commonly for cognac aging. And the reason that that's been used for the Glenlivet 15 is just because it is a very porous wood, okay? Very porous, so it allows for a lot of flavour transfer, and therefore it's basically as if it's aged a lot longer than just the 15, okay? So tasting notes for this one, I tend to find it quite herbaceous, a little bit grassy. Don't know about you guys. Feel free to shout out if you're getting any kind of aromas or any taste on the palate at all. I will join you quickly and hopefully hopefully it stays down. Yeah. Someone's saying aniseed, yeah. And there is also water pipettes on the table as well if you want to give a little sample. A little bit of a touch into it. Really does open up some whiskies, some more than others. But yeah, so I find this one really is, like I say, quite herbaceous. Big fan of it. It's actually my number one of the Glenlivet range, personally, for my palate. But you will see when we pass the bottles around and you have a little look later, you will see just on this one it's quite small, but on some of the newer, more updated bottles, you have a big date at the top, okay? And that's 1824, right? And 1824 is really important for both whiskey in general as the category and also the Glenlivet, because we were, as you'll see on one of the bottles, we were the first licensed dram. Okay, so before this, we all know about the illicit distilleries that were going on with whiskey. So some would say that George Smith, the founder of Glenlivet, was either the villain or the hero of the story, depending how you work it. Because before that, everyone was illicit, everyone was doing it illegally. Okay, and that's why Speyside has so many distilleries, because it was really high up, far away from the taxman, licensing officers. Like, no one was able to come and find them. One road in, one road out. You could separate the still. Someone goes that way, someone goes that way. All of a sudden, it's fine. Nothing happened. No one was here. But yeah, George Smith basically wanted to change that. So when the Excise Act came in 1823, he went down basically and started to go get a license to become the first licensed dram and therefore start paying taxes. Okay, had to do that because his landlord at the time was Alexander Gordon. He was the landowner, and basically he was saying, I started getting this act in. I know you're making whiskey. You've got to go get the license or you lose your land. Obviously, all of his neighbours with the illicit distillery was saying, you know, obviously don't go do it. We'll burn down your distillery. So he was kind of arguing with his neighbours, arguing with his landlord. I think he opted for the safer option and went with the landlord, went and got the license. And then that's when things started getting a little bit more turmoil was coming into his life because all of his neighbours were now basically in danger of their distilleries getting taken down. So he was gifted by the Laird of Aberlour 2 flintlock pistols. You can still see them if anybody has been to the Glenlivet distillery, and a black glass case. And that has the flintlock pistols which he was given to protect himself and the distillery. And that is, they have been fired as well. There's a couple of stories which we can talk about after that, of him potentially using them. But who knows, unofficially. But feel free to keep enjoying this jam, and I'm going to pop back up when we move on to Aberlour. But again, I'm sat just over there if anyone's got any questions, okay? But enjoy your first, so go for it.
Why don't we use Scottish oak?
Well, the main reason that people use different casks, obviously there's Scottish oak that can be used, but the main reason that commonly for whiskey you get American oak, obviously comes from the laws with bourbon. So for anyone who doesn't know, with bourbon, it has to use virgin oak barrels in America. So as soon as they use it once, you can't make the bourbon anymore. And obviously they can't make Scotch. And that's what they buy a lot of. So they have to buy it from Scotland. So their casks come straight over here.
Is that not daft?
Well, who's to say, yeah?
That's bourbon.
Yeah, that's bourbon, yeah, so. Yeah, but that's it, like, that's just the law, it's just how it comes. So we get all those American oaks, kind of comes over a lot. And Europe, then there's Europe, sorry? A lot cheaper. There's the availability, like, comes straight in. Yeah. They're there, they're ready to be used, so they come straight to us. But it does affect the flavours as well, same as why we would use, you know, a European oak. European oak and an American oak, you know, quite similar. People say that, you know, in terms of the flavour transfer is very different, but some of the, for the European oak, the grains are a lot tighter, okay, so you get a lot less flavour transfer for the same amount of years. So this is why people start to use different casks for different whiskies. For example, that's why we've used limousine cask for this, really porous wood, and that's what they're trying to basically transfer into this expression. But different whiskies, different casks, everyone's just trying to get a different little bit of seasoning, essentially, on your whiskey.
The wood for this whiskey didn't have any cognac in it.
No. So there's one we have on the display, which was a cognac fill, but this did not. This is just the oak that is used for it. Yeah. So not commonly used in whiskey. Okay.
Anybody else got any questions? Perfect. We'll enjoy that wee whiskey.
Beautiful. Enjoy this first one, guys. Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's it. Enjoy that. And if I can ask you, once you've been consuming that, there, folks, if you can put the glasses, empty glasses, on the tray and switch it with the other one there. And does anybody know why the bourbon barrels are only allowed to be used once? Do you know why the bourbon barrels are only allowed to be used once? That's it. If I'm right, it's down to the unions made them do it. So it was to keep the people employed and keep it going. So that's where that came from. And I think there is a couple of companies that do Scottish oak barrels, but they're obviously a lot more expensive. But we'll no mention those names because friends from Glenlivet are here. So remember, enjoy responsibly. Switch your glasses out for me. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, if anybody's on Facebook, any of you's on Facebook? Birthday boy, are you on Facebook? Go and take some pictures, or somebody go take pictures and put them on the old Fuzzbook for us, right? And like and share and put it on the Mercurials as well. Thank you. Right. Oh, I'm not. No. All right. I'm just going to go. Yeah, no worries. Right, 1, 2, 3. There we go, guys. Oh, it's his sister. It's his sister. It's his birthday, so that's how they're all here. Right. Right, George, there might be glasses down there if you. There might be. If you want, here, no, you're all right. I'll do that. You help Al, and then I'll. Go for it. No, I'll sort it out. If you go see if they want any wee drinking, it's okay.
Well, that's there's a couple on YouTube.
Can you hear me on this thing here? Just to say for all the people that are sitting in your house with the packs in front of you, number 1 was actually the first whiskey, but then number 3 is the second whiskey. So if you're sitting in the house and you've got your bottles in front of you, the first one you drank, which is number 1, but the second one is actually number 3, just for thee. Anyway, right. I certainly know a few of you are sitting there guzzling. You probably finished them by now. Know what yous are like. That's it. Don't you worry about it. It's not to confuse you. Don't worry. There's people sitting in the house with the whiskey packs, and they've got the whiskey, but the number, the way I've given them, number 3 is the next whiskey. So instead of 1, 2, 3. So that was fine.
Next one then, boss. Yeah. Where can I put this? Is that out the shop? Yeah, that's out the shop. Put this one away. That's the new 18. That'd be after.
So that one's out.
Yeah, it'd be that one. That one. Yeah, it's the one that's on.
So that one, then that one, and then that one.
Finish. Yeah. Right, I think we'll go for it. Yeah. Okay, everyone. How did the first one do us? First one, okay. It seemed to go down pretty quickly, so very quickly going on to the second. But again, if you feel like you need to slow down a little bit later, again, feel free. Just let us know. If anyone needs water, just give us a shout. Okay, so I'm assuming there'll be a few fans in here. It is quite an established bottling that is coming out for your second dram, but this is the Aberlour Abuna, okay, and we're on batch 80, if anyone wanted to know right now. Anyone had Abuna before? Yeah, for big fans? Yes. Anyone had like a really low batch at all? Anyone know? So people, people really focus a lot on the batches basically for Abuna. It's just been one of those things because you get when it first came out, it was 1997. It was when Abuna first came out and was created. But the story around Abuna for Aberlour is actually really cool. Okay, it all comes back from like a time capsule. Okay, so the distillery, they were building a second still that was coming through. So they were remodeling the distillery. Okay, this is obviously in Aberlour, by the River Lower, and they basically found a bottle wedged in the wall as they were doing the renovation. Bottle wedged in the wall, and that's why it's obviously this really old kind of style of bottle. Just wedged in the wall like this, wrapped in a newspaper, okay? And they found this in 1975, okay? Abuna means the original, okay? And it was wrapped in a newspaper that was from the very end of the 1800s, okay? That was the newspaper that was wrapped around the bottle. And it had nothing else in it. It was just a clear bottle, but it had that wrapped around in it. It's obviously whiskey. So boys who found it, like the workers, working at the distillery, but still, kind of labourers. First thing they did, what would you do?
Try it.
Popped it, started tanning it, right? And it was only when the master distiller at the time had come out and found a bottle, probably about, I believe there was a third left, so probably about here was this left, and they're all there like, giggling like, where's this? What are you drinking? They'd be like, oh, we found it in the wall. And so he goes mental, and it's like, what? And he was like, well, give me it. So he took it back and then started to basically try and deconstruct it and recreate it. Just no real reason. Like I say, it didn't get released then for like another, and coming up to 20 years of it, before it ended up being released. But tried to rebuild that recipe just off, like I say, the tasting notes of basically going back to the original of how Aberlour used to make its whiskey from what they estimate, was the end of the 1800s. So that's what we've got, and that's why we've got this lovely kind of sherry cask strength whiskey. So bear in mind it is cask strength. The ABV will vary depending on the batch, because like I say, it's different every time. So this one was sitting at 61%. So as I say, we do have water on the table if anybody would like it. A wee pipette, and you can just put a couple of drops in. I will say, try and do it a few drops at a time, but that's all you need. If you end up putting loads in, it's going to really drown it, okay? And it just helps to open it up a bit more, kind of brings down that kind of harshness from the alcohol, and hopefully you'll get a little bit more flavours about it, okay? But yeah, really focus on the sherry cask, okay? Oloroso sherry, okay? Aberlour is really known for its sherry cask influence, okay? Anyone got any questions just now?
What does Abuna mean again?
Abuna means the original. The original, yeah. So each of the Aberlour range all means something different for the names that are said, yeah. Batch 80 we're up to now. Yeah, so Graham Cruikshanks is the master distiller. Unfortunately couldn't come today. He was going to dial in, but unfortunately he's somewhere else he has to attend. But so he's been involved with Abuna since, I believe it was batch just early 50s was when he took over. And now, like I say, still up to 80. And there's a few new releases that are out from Aberlour that have all come as his creation. Yeah. Okay. Sorry? Yeah, both Speyside. Yeah, all Speyside. It's just Aberlour is known for its sherry cask influence a lot, like really strong, and it uses sherry butts. Yeah, Oloroso sherry butts. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
She just doesn't like cheap whiskey, that's why she got drunk with it. It's so strong.
Right, switch it out.
Is that Mr. Tatty Peel?
It certainly is. How are you?
I'm alright, what's happening? What are you up to?
I'm just in the pub. I've just finished at 8 o'clock tonight. I had a wedding on.
Oh, you had a wedding. It's a shame that you're not here with us whiskey tasting, eh, folks? Yeah, Skyver, we've got you on live on the internet. We thought we'd phone because the boys are tucking in. So far, we've had Glenlivet, 15-year-old. We've had the Abuna. We're just about to go into the Glenlivet, 18-year-old. But we're glad you're not here because there's more whiskey for us. What do you reckon?
I love the Abuna.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely on the Abuna. I would be guzzling that. I remember getting pushed in the the ambassador's resident in New York on their Boona.
Oh, nice. Aye. Jet lag. There might be
It was
kids.
jet lag, aye.
That was it. Well, we were missing you. Some of the guys were asking how Tatty Peel is. There's a few folk obviously dialing in. I'll give you a clue who's dialed in. His wife drinks gin like it's going out of fashion.
Who's that?
Who drinks gin like it's going out of fashion?
Oh, Steve McKenzie.
No, you sozzie. I'll give you a clue. You're getting this tight here. Somebody that's up at Julian S. Valley College area.
No.
Oh, you're joking. Somebody that had a special whiskey cask that you'll not be getting any more of. Oh,
David Bruden.
no, right, you've failed the points anyway, right? I thought you would at least get it. That's it.
Failed the test.
You failed the test. But anyway, we thought we'd phone you and hopefully we'll see you maybe on the 20th. We might be doing one in January. But anyway, we'll catch up with you later. We'll all have a drink.
Yeah, take care.
Right,
Lovely-
say
lovely
bye-bye,
speaking.
everybody. Tatty Peel.
Cheers,
Bye,
mate.
Tatty Peel. Right, we'll
Cheers.
smell you later. There we go, Tatty Peel. That was Tatty Peel. No, imagine not thinking about Susan and Martin up there drinking the gin. But anyway, c'est la vie.
So like to make 8 of them,
All right, how are we getting on with these whiskies there, folks? Everybody licking their lips? I'm sure they were. That makes me think about licking lips, makes me think about getting a haircut. Do you know how the moon gets its haircut? He clips it. But anyway, that's another thing. And I was out the other day there with a nice nurse, really good looking nurse, and she pulled out a red crayon from her pocket. I says, why have you got a red crayon in your pocket? She goes, I like to draw blood. But anyway, on that one, we'll hang back to boom, ba-dum, bum, tsh. Right, back over there to Jay. No wonder you're laughing.
Go. There you go. Thanks for warming them up for me, Graham. Yeah. Beautiful. Right, okay, has everyone got your third dram? So we're back onto Glenlivet now, so if you remember us talking a little bit before about George Smith with his flintlock pistols to defend his brand, to defend the distillery, okay? It wasn't until his son, okay, it was just like over a decade later that they wanted to protect the brand even more, right? So the licensing had basically won. People had to start getting their licenses, okay? And but everyone kind of around the around the river of Glenlivet was using the name Glenlivet. Glenlivet whiskey was just everywhere. Everywhere was Glenlivet whiskey. So obviously it was getting a really big popularity all over the world, but people didn't really know whose was whose, yeah? So obviously being the creator of the original, of the Glenlivet, as it got in popularity and it was getting imitators, his son went down, he used to be training in law, started going down the route of trying to trademark the name of Glenlivet, okay? So before this, it was obviously just Glenlivet whiskey, and then eventually we had to, after years in going through the law process, ended up winning, kind of, in saying that this is now the Glenlivet. That's where the T comes into it, so it's TGL, the Glenlivet. And everything else had to be called whatever their name of their whiskey was. They had to rebrand, and then they could call it Glenlivet whiskey. Okay, so basically, instantly, everyone was just considering themselves as an imitator. Okay, so and as you can see now, there's none of them left. Okay, so it was all just off the imitation of trying to become Glenlivet. Okay. So yeah, you do have the Glenlivet 18. It is a rebrand of the bottle. I think perhaps Graham has one of the old branded of the bottle, but it's the same liquid. Feel free to go through. I don't know if anyone's had a taste of it already. Yeah, if anyone's got any left even. Well, yeah. Did anyone pull any notes off this one? So this one's a really, really good kind of craft of multiple different casks. We're talking about why to use different wood. This uses ex-bourbon, this uses American oak, this European oak, and also goes back to the Oloroso sherry as well. So sticking with the sherry casks, you're still going to get that influence from it, yeah? Anyone got any flavour notes at all that you've picked up from this one? Do we like it? Yeah? Vanilla? Good stuff, there you go. Okay, maybe a little bit of dried fruit for me. Bit of dried fruit, bit of Christmas cake. Dried fruit, sultanas, yeah, dried fruit, dried apricots maybe, yeah. He's trying to catch me out. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, and again, like I say, it's all completely subjective, right? Enjoy it, guys. I'll be back up to talk about our somewhat penultimate whiskey coming up next, which is the Aberlour 18, where we're sticking with the sherry cask. Okay, enjoy, guys.
You're probably pushing it, going up the phone now for it. 10 past 11 or 10 past 10. Better phone now. I'll give you the numbers, I'll try because they're going to be tight for taxis. I know what happens. Yeah, thanks, like, no, I was going to post some of the wee bottle, but oh, you've not even done it yet. Yeah. How many is it for you? Two, right.
It's a beautiful the last one. Sleepy work. No, because if you crash it, I won't make any money on it. But I know. If you crash it to the wreck. Oh no, the issue is already wrecked. Like on paper.
Did you say 10-2?
Because it was
10 to the hour?
no, the train is 10 past.
Alright, okay, right, that's fine. That'd probably be easier for me just to give you a lift because I one of the taxis are like for all it'll take me, I'll just spin you along, mate. No, it'll be easier than saving it fanning about.
What are you getting good today?
Should we go for this? Go for this, yeah? Good stuff. Okay, moving on to the next one, guys. You should be on. It's the very dark one, okay? This is the Abelauer 18, okay? Yo, guys. Everyone got some? You got your glasses? Yeah? Everyone got your glasses? You got your dark one? Okay, so this is the big sherry bomb, okay, to kind of ease us into the end of our whiskies, okay? You can see I've got two bottles here. This is the 18-year-old Abelauer, okay? You may have seen this one before, the 50cl one. This is the old bottle, okay? So we're very fortunate now that the one that you're sampling, if you've not had it before, is the new 18, okay? So we're in batch one, okay? So truly at the start of it all. The only thing that's different is, obviously, the bottle's a lot bigger, but the difference is that this, it has the, if we had a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, 16, and 18-year-old of the Abelauer range, they are doing dual maturation. So they're aging in two separate barrels at the same time. And as they go up their age range, they are just slightly adjusting the ratio and pulling more from the sherry each time. So it's kind of a gradient. You're getting more sherry each time as we go down the Abelauers until you get to the 18. And that's where basically this one kind of stopped off, was having just the most Oloroso sherry influence. And that's the same with the new 18. The difference is they've just doubled down on the sherry, and then all of that whiskey goes in to a very quick finish. In a wet Pedro Jimenez cask. So you've got your two different sherries in there, and like I say, it's a wet barrel, like just emptied. So you get a lot of sherry influence on this, which I'm sure you'll get on the colour, on the taste, straight away. Has anyone had a sip of it yet? You've been holding off, yeah? What do you think? What do you think? Big sherry bomb, kind of Christmassy, yeah? Yeah, pairs well with the thing, yeah?
Is it gas? It's fresh.
No, not cask strength. This one, 43%. So again, if you don't want water, but it is quite rich. So if you like that, feel free. If not, feel free to add some water as well. Open it up. But most importantly, enjoy. Enjoy. Lovely. Struggle again. Put that back before. Ooh, sorry, mate. Oh. Sorry, mate. I know. I thought I'd rather your shoe than the bag. I was like, Are you driving or? Yeah. Just going to give you a little bit.
What train station are you going from? What trains? No, All right, I've got 21, 40.
41 there. There's a different line then. Aye, is it the same line? No, right, okay, aye. I usually go to Wallerford, that's why I was thinking, right, but it's alright, that's fine. I didn't want you to listen your train.
Whisky.
Yeah, I'll say a wee bit and then you can, I'll Is that the Savour, the last one that they're on, is it? Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, just the final hurdle coming up. We can jump over and get this show on the go. Anyway, I'm going to say a few wee bits and bobs and I'm going to hand over because I'm going to have to help these chappies out down there, so I'll be going away in a 5 minutes time, but I shall return. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves tonight, guys. Hopefully between the food and the drink, you're all happy. How's the birthday boy? You all happy there, birthday boy? Good, good, good. So thanks for that. So if you are on the old Fuzzbook, if you can like it and share it and just say how good the Glenlivet is. And I think you'll all probably be in agreement that if you normally walked into a pub on a Friday or a Saturday night, you probably wouldn't go straight for the 18-year-old Aberlour, but maybe now it's on the radar and you probably get that right down the gullet, so that's good. The whiskies have been excellent. There's still the Glenlivet Savour, which is a special one. I managed to pick that up for the special dram. That was about 200 odd quid for a bottle, so you definitely get spoilt when you come to your Uncle Graham's. So again, thanks to the staff for doing a good effort for bringing you your scran out and your bits and bobs, and thank you to T-Boney. Appreciate that as always. And for the folks that have dialed in wherever you're at, there's a few of them that do get the packs, dial in. Obviously they've missed out on the last couple of goodie bits, but anyway, that's it. And obviously over to the boys to thank them from coming in the day, taking their time out on a Saturday night, especially in December. And I think Jay's getting a bit more colour to his cheeks than what he has when he first arrived. Seemingly he was jet lagged last night from that 15-year-old Glenlivet, but hey ho, we won't hold that against him. So again, thanks very much guys for coming. Look out for the stuff if you're on the Mercurials. Remember there's the Mercurials WhatsApp group as well to keep you up to date with stuff. Don't be shy to put a couple of pictures on that. Potentially the 20th of January I might have a wee low-key one if you are up for it. I've got a load of special whiskey that I want to bring out, so it might be a nice night, and I'm talking to other distillers about future stuff anyway. So one in January, and then definitely a big one's going to be at the end of February anyway, so that's it. So on that folks, thanking you from me, thanks you to the guys, thank you all for coming along. Enjoy your night, drink responsibly, and I'll hand you over to this man so that I can spin these guys out of here in 5.
Spiel done, but try and figure out, there is a lot more whiskies down the bottom end of the table, okay, but just down there you may be able to see some more Aberlour and some more Glenlivets that we haven't gone through the sampling of today, but I'm going to be stood down there for a little bit longer now, so if anyone wants to come and chat, try some of the other ones and learn about some of the different ones we didn't get to go through today, come and have a chat and I'll be there, okay? Neil, anything you want to add?
Thanks for everyone coming down, and on the way out we do have some Glenlivet camping mugs, so everyone that attends get a free one of them, or I can hand them out now if you want. To you guys.
And the glasses as well, is it?
And the glasses. And you can take those Glenlivet glasses home with you.
There you go. Brilliant, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy the whiskey. Speak to you later. Thank you.